morning, everyone. It's Lori with 3 Keys Astrology. And this is a love letter to 3 Keys Astrology. And all of our new members, all of my members that have been a part of our group for the last year. I just want to say thank you. There's something in astrology called a progressed new moon. And like our stages in life, decade to decade, and those moments in between when destiny or fate comes in and sprinkles magic dust in our lives. There's something that happens naturally, like aging, but it's a beautiful thing. And if you're a woman, you know, if you're older, there comes a freedom in our 40s. And most of you can relate to this example, that there's a Uranian experience. Uranus is about freedom and about the unadulterated truth. And he's playing a very important part of our lives this year. I've been telling you for over a year now that this beauty happens when we move out of our homes, our family homes, and we finally get to be in charge of our lives. And that excitement at age 18, that new apartment, that living with roommates in college, that no more curfews, no more parents' rules, is a really exciting part of life. An initiation into adulthood, though we have much to learn. And so at this juncture in my life, at age 58, I have what's called a progressed new moon. And that's a brand new chapter in life. Now, if you're living astrology, I make sure that you know about these monumental events in life. And because I produce for you, with all my love and all my heart, in a very practical way, the weekly and monthly horoscopes that designate the events and energies of time right now. You know that you get a little bit of an idea of how we can expect the week to go or the month to go or what's important this month. And I am writing this love letter to you to tell you that when a person encounters a new stage in life, that brand new chapter, but a monumental one, for women, it's leaving being a woman into that new and incredible and sacred stage of motherhood. I mean, that's a gift for the female population. We get to hold life, we get to know what's sacred. And I had that experience. My life would not be complete without that. That's the way God designed me. And so all of us can relate, new or old, young or in the middle of life, to those monumental changes and those, you can call them plot twists, where you have to do a pivot and reprioritize, like the whole world's doing right now. Please comment below about at what age something like this occurred in your life. And I mean, these are profound changes. So my love letter to you today at 3 Keys Astrology wants to say, I never would have imagined 1 year ago, when I dared and was not so confident to make a Facebook page, that I would be meeting people from all over the world. I had no idea. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, YouTube. And I have really grown to love a lot of you. I call you friend. And your kindness has flown across the oceans between us. And I feel, with my heart and soul, your energy. I'm very intuitive and a healer. So my love letter to all 3 Keys Astrology members today is that if you're a brand new member, the premise of my business is mind, body, and soul. I look at life in three dimensions. And astrology is fantastic because that's its premise. It's as above, so below. So the heavens are the astronomy that we astrologers garnish the energy patterns from. They relate to the manifestation of our earthly lives. So we've got a dimension there to the dimension of the earth. And the third dimension is how this affects your personal life. So I just started teaching astrology because when you have a progressed new moon, it is a brand new chapter. It's some kind of a rebirth. And God's saying it's time for you to birth something. Many of us women who have given birth to children find ourselves with our hands in the ground in our gardens, bringing up new life from Mother Earth. It's a natural tendency. Many of us, once the children are raised, will go back to school and have a rebirth. Many of us will learn a hobby or join a group of interest. Now, astrology is about knowledge and wisdom. And astrology is that interconnection between spirit and earth, spirit where we came from. And there, the more you acknowledge and are grateful for and humble to God, because all the glory of your life belongs to God. The way you look, the family that you were given, and most importantly, knowledge for our Three Keys Astrology group. If you're part of this group, we're an intellectual society interested in healing and lore. We're interested in improving lives and serving. Should you decide to become an astrologer under my tutelage, I teach, the method is about what I am, an intuitive astrologer. So it's a unique approach. It's not lecture and notes and a boring 2 hours. It's pretty exciting. And we're going to practice in our class every single time we're together. By the time you're done with my lessons, in 2 years, you can begin your own astrology practice. And it's a wonderful second income. It takes a while to be the primary income, so don't get frustrated. All good things take time to build. But I'm going to invite you because we've only had one class. I'm got enough interest that I'm going to start a second class. So enrollment is open right now. If you want to jump into what we started yesterday, DM me. If you're not a member of our Facebook group, Three Keys Astrology, I'm inviting you. My professional email address is ducky@threekeysastrology.com. You can contact me there and tell me that you want to take classes. It's very affordable. It's an investment in yourself and your future. So in life, at this stage of mine, where I have a progressed new moon. And when the sun and moon come together in the chart, it represents a new birth, a new dawn, an awakening. And in fact, I am this. This is also a signature of mine. Um, I have a new moon in my birth chart. And that means the sun and the moon can't get any closer. They're very together. And the sun and the moon represent our parents. And in the chart, when you look at the sun and the moon, it designates the relationship your parents have. Your birth chart is the event of time. You can go back in time, no matter how old you are, look at that sun and moon and have a very good insight into the relationship of your very own parents and what they were going through at that moment of your birth. Whenever you see sun and moon, it's often a love child, and I am. People who are born love children have parents that were crazy about each other. And while the rest of the family may not have been so crazy about it, because new moons also indicate youth. And my mother was indeed a very young teenage mother. But my parents were crazy about each other. And that imprint in my life made me very intimate and passionate, and that I put love first. And so do many of us with the new moons. We have this innocence about love. We acknowledge that we need love, and we're not afraid to be vulnerable to say that we need love. So, this love letter to you is that, oh my gosh, I cry when I do readings. And then when you come back to me for another reading, I cry again, because I'm moved over and over again. And once you become an astrologer, you too will see the glory of God, because there are not, no two people have identical readings, not twins, not triplets. It's astonishing that we have all these similarities and characteristics and necessity, and yet we're so uniquely different. And Uranus is ruled by Uranus, who is the planet of the unique. And that's perfect. And I can tell you of 4,000 readings that I have done to date, no two people are alike. And it's amazing what God does. So if you have a challenge in your chart, and like archaeologists, we dig down deep and look in. That lens that is the horoscope, I told my students yesterday, in 3 dimensions, as above, so below, is indeed a telescope to the heavens, a snapshot and picture of where all the stars were the moment you were born. And yet we astrologers take that lens and turn it down here on the earth. And like microscopes, through that tiny little lens, we get in there and dig into what's inside. What makes this person up? What is his or her nature? What is her personality, her traits, her behavior, her characteristics? We have a nature unique to our collected human nature. So that's the lens of the as above, so below. We came from heaven. We're always going to be divinely connected. We're just in this body for a little while, but our soul never dies. But God made it so that we had to come down here with some challenges and obstacles. And your astrologer is there for you too. Yours truly wants to be your personal astrologer. Makes me very happy. I have a donate button on my channel. So if you find yourself in a quandary, or you find yourself at a crossroads, or you find yourself about indecision about which date is the best to get married, I have a donate button on the channel that's good for one question. If it's a complexity and you've not gotten your birth chart done yet, I'll just say to you, this is a reading, this isn't a question. But by that donate button, you are welcome to ask me questions. And you go to my website, threekeysastrology.com, and you will find my services. At this moment in time, until I figure out how I want to structure my classes technologically, you will also pay for your classes, your astrology class, online through my donate button. So you can DM me in the group. It's very affordable. It's a worthwhile investment in yourself. And if you choose at the end not to go into your own astrology practice, you'll have divination tools for the rest of your life. But those of you that do decide, the gamut of the kind of astrologer you can be is enormous. We're in the age of Aquarius, and astrology in the future will be taught in school. This is the age of information, and that's what astrology is all about. And for all of you that have gotten your birth chart reading, I have a couple of readings on the channel. One's called The Here and Now, and it's what's going on in my life with the energies right now. Age me 42, age me 28, age me 22. But you first have to get your birth chart reading, because that never changes. That's the energy of, let's say, your ethnicity. Your ethnicity. I made up a new word. Your ethnicity. That never changes. But you change according to experiences in life. And astrology, again, another dimension of that horoscope, is a wheel with spokes that goes year to year and travels through time. So you know that you're not the same person you were when you were 15. How can you be? And you know that you're not the same person when you're 20. And you know that you're not the same person when you're 40, and you're not supposed to be. Forgive my ringing phone in the background. I forgot to unplug it. Um, but I just want you to know that teaching is what I went to college for. I was studying to be a professor of medieval studies when I had a huge plot twist and pivot in my life, and that all changed. But for the first time in 15 years, I am teaching. We had a blast. How can I teach you? You want to know more? Okay, I'll tell you. You're saying, Lori, I do want to study with you. I love astrology. But how do we do this? All right, it's really easy. This is how you do it. You contact me either through Ducky at threekeysastrology.com and say, I want to be your student. Please give me the details. Or you can DM me in our private Facebook group and say, Lori, I want to study with you. Tell me more. So this is how we do this. You go to my website, threekeysastrology.com, and you pay weekly, or you can pay the entire 10-week module all at once. Click on PayPal, hit the donation button, and type in the form your name and information and astrology class. If you've never gotten your birth chart reading again, please also input your birth details, birth day, birth city, birth time, because we definitely are going to be looking at your chart, and you're definitely going to be learning via your own chart. We really had so much fun. I think you can enroll with me and be part of our current class on Friday mornings in the United States of America. I'm on the East Coast in Buffalo, New York. So Eastern Standard Time at 10 a.m. every Friday morning, we join together in learning and having lectures on astrology in a very practical sense. Um, and I'm a former teacher, and I've raised three daughters who were all Dean's List. Each of my children were recognized, one nationally, one by the state for her intellect, and all three were acknowledged for their honors and mention of their intellectual abilities, which is something that makes a mama proud. I graduated high school cum laude. Of 350 people, or maybe like 370, something like that, I was in the top 10%. I think I was number 8. I ranked 17 or 18. Anyway, I'm studious. I have read nothing and done nothing but astrology since 2017, when another pivotal astrological phenomena called a return of my North Node in Leo came along, which is conjunct Uranus, the planet of astrology. Nodes are fated points in the astrological chart. And so if you don't want to study with me and learn this, and we're going to go on in 10-week modules for as long as you want to, until you're comfortable to have your own channel, to own your own business, to have your own students, or maybe you want to be in astrology that's media oriented, or maybe you want to be a journalist astrologer, or maybe you want to work in forensics or in the financial market, or maybe you want to um, be published. The gamut is as wide as every field there is in career for. Astrology is about life. It's about life. Another reason my business is called Three Keys Astrology is it's you and your birth, you coming into existence, you meeting other people and creating that third incredible something, whether it's a new baby, a new marriage, a new career, a new purpose, a way to serve in this world. So, in that three dimensions, in that interrelationship, we're looking at planetary energy combined with your own personal energy, and that is the analysis that is astrology. So, if you've already gotten your birth chart reading and you want to know what's going on right now, knowing what is going on in your personal life, I offer monthly maps that are called the Here and Now reading as well. And then I have a Time Lord reading that's really cool because one planet each year rules your life. So if you know that, if it's Venus, it's about money and love. If it's about Uranus, it's about the truth, and everything but the truth has to go. If it's about Neptune, it can be a very spiritual year. And so you know, it's anyway, whether you want readings or you want to be a student or you want to be included, I'm also going to start just a fun weekly meeting. I'm not sure the timing of that, but I was saying if you'd like to jump into our current class, I have video recorded our lectures, so you will not be left behind. And I'll send you a link to that video, and then you can join us. It's invitation only. People can't steal my knowledge or the way that I teach, and so you can take it from there. You'll make new friends, and it's so much fun. I cannot wait. I think I'm gonna do it twice a week. So if you'd like to meet sooner than once a week, please let me know if you see this video. Current students as well. So this is my love letter to you saying, um, when you meet people that elevate you in any way or form, never take them for granted. Some of the astrologers that I've studied with are phenomenal and again, one of a kind. And I love them. And their knowledge has changed my life. And that's what I hope to carry the torch of knowledge to change your life. Astrology is amazing. I'm a Christian, I'm a Catholic, I'm not a dark astrologer, I'm not a death astrologer. So if you want to improve your own life, get readings, take classes, and be excited because 2021 is the University of Life. Things are different. The other nice thing about astrology is you can do astrology anywhere. You can live in any country. It's done virtually. Some people like to Skype their sessions. I'm a writer. I prefer to write your readings so you can print them and keep them forever. And so I'm inviting you to invite your friends to our channel, to our group, and to study astrology. And that's my love letter to all of you. I have had the best and most fulfilling year meeting all of you. You guys have made me cry. I also want you to know, and I told this to my students yesterday, for people that mistakenly think astrology is what a sun sign reading is, um, it's so holy. It's so sacred. That's not what it is. And it's not pop culture, not the way I do astrology. And you'll have difficult times. I've had 4 clients with cancer. I've had a couple of clients in nightmare relationships. And those readings are really hard to do. And and this happens to you when you practice astrology, this spiritual alchemy comes over you because you're serving God and having privilege to see the soul of man. So if you think that this is fun and games or something that's pop culture, you can make it fun. You can have fun with it. Of course, it can be if you have a lighthearted spirit, but that's not why people get readings. And there's a lot of alchemical changes that happen when you do sacred work and spiritual work. And it's so fulfilling and it's so rewarding. And so, this is my love letter to you, and I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I look forward to being your astrology teacher, and I promise you're going to love it. Your whole life's going to change. Mine has. And I attribute it all to meeting Lada, only virtually. I was too ill from a tragic accident to be able to meet her in person, but it was in my plans for 9 months, and I still wish I could have been there. I was with all of them, and my heart and my soul, and I dream that someday I'll get to meet them. You'll have a new community when you become an astrologer or you belong to an astrology group, and you'll enjoy the vibratory energy that is wisdom and connection that's not sullied and tainted by tabloid media news, by the dirt of the world, though we do examine the dirt and the grit and the truth. So on this channel, you'll find weekly scopes, monthly scopes that talk about the energy. They're in general, that's the energy for everybody on planet Earth. That's just reading the heavens and patterns in the sky at the very moments that I'm doing weeklies and monthlies. However, it's so much more important and it's so much deeper and personal when you get readings where that's measured, that as above, so below is measured. So this is me, Lori Carvelli, with Three Keys Astrology, your future teacher, your personal astrologer, your future colleague um, in this amazing, divine science and art. And I just say that I love you and thank you, and I hope you'll join us. So I've given you everything that you need to know. DM me in the group and say, I want to study with you. It's not that expensive. It's a very good investment in yourself. And you can write it off in your taxes. It's education. So you take care, everyone. Thank you so much for all the kindness and love you've given me. Thank you so much. When your readings have been really hard for me to speak, for saying, it's okay, tell me. I think I've told you this before, but I'll tell you again. I have a dear friend that I love that I went to high school with, and I've never met her children. But early in my practice, I sensed that her daughter that I've never met was going to have a car accident. And I am an intuitive astrologer, and it was coming off of her chart like a beacon beaming at me, and it shook me up badly. Very empathic, very compassionate, uber feeling, and intuitive, and a healer, and so sensitive. And how I was approached with, how do you say this to someone? Do you say this to someone? And I'm glad I dared say that, because my friend, my dear friend in high school who trusts me and loves me and knows me since we were little girls, said, it's okay, Lori, just tell me. And I said, your daughter's going to have an accident, and I see the car being trashed, but I know she's going to be okay. And I don't want to tell you this. And she said, Lori, she just had an accident. That's one example of thousands that have happened to me of 4,000 readings. That's the incredible knowledge and wisdom that's gifted you when you practice astrology. And it's a tender, delicate, and sacred tool that has to be handled with love and gentleness, giving all the glory to God. Because if you practice it any other way, it's going to unravel. So I look forward to studying with you. If you're enjoying my background, I found this amazing um, channel. This is a winter wonderland. It says the title of the video on YouTube is Merry Christmas 2020. And it's, oh my gosh, aerial views of all these beautiful winter wonderlands, so peaceful, with a little light piano music in the background. So another thing that I think is our duty is to spread love, light, and peace on earth. And astrology will help you do that. And when you know what's coming and what's going on in the world and in your own personal life, that this year is the year for me to go back to college, that this year is the year for me to focus on relationships. And by the way, I'd like to say, because we have 3 members that are in their 80s in astrology, and I unfortunately was blessed to have a teenage mom whose life went out in a moment. There's a configuration in astrology called sudden death. I mean, that proves it. My mom died that way. She was here for a moment and gone in the next second. Many of us, middle-aged, when we start to see a lot of death in families and friends, and the older we get, the more, prominent that is in life, and that's a hard thing to acknowledge. But it's true. We have a short little blip of time to be down here and to do what we're supposed to do, to serve, to be kind, to love, to bring light, to find out what our own unique purpose is. And astrology can help you do that, even with just a reading in the birth chart. Um, My mom was gone in an instant. Friends that have had parents in long-suffering illnesses, which is Saturn, that linger on and suffer, and it's torture for the whole family and for the person inside of that body. Um, Astrology shows those kinds of things as well. And you have every right to be a discriminator of the way you practice your art. I choose not to be a death astrologer. Every man and woman on this planet of age knows that we have a limited time to be on this earth. I prefer that you use astrology to live, that you want to live, that you know that you have a purpose, and that's what we're going to focus on. But knowing, like I do, because of Lada and my experience, this fateful event of my North Node in Leo at the end of August in 2017, because of that and my seeking more knowledge and taking classes and learning and studying and practicing, I know that I have a progressed new moon. I know that that is an extraordinary event that won't happen again for 30 years. By then, if God gives me life, I'll be 99 years old. Knowing that is aligning myself to this divine plan that it's time to teach. It's time to grow your business. It's time to share your knowledge. So that's the kind of gifts that come when you get readings. But more importantly, you're going to go on this own magical experience if you decide to become an astrologer. And it's going to be the way of the future, like it was the way of the past. In case you didn't know, astrology is 4,000 years old. Every kingdom on planet Earth, no matter what land, from kings in Egypt to kings in Greece to Italy to England and Ireland and Scotland, all had royal advisors who were astrologers. Astrologers were the first doctors, the first astronomers, the first, I just lost my train of thought, weathermen. We can tell the weather by the planets that are going on in astrology if you so desire. That's what they're reading. They're reading patterns of energy in the sky. And now it's in our daily broadcast, like astrology will be in the next 20 years. So you take care, and thank you so much. And this is my love letter from me to you. And it means so much to me, all of you that comment, care, share my videos, invite your friends. And I gotta tell you, I was so high yesterday when we finished class, and my students were too. It raises your energy when you learn new things. It's exciting. And with that, it's me, Lori with Three Keys Astrology, saying thank you so much. I love you. And I can't wait to see you in class. Friday mornings at 8 o'clock, I'm going to start another class. So just say I'll vary the enrollment. I want to keep them relatively small so we can be intimate. And you're going to learn so much and love it. It's so much fun. All right. Take care, everyone. Have a very happy weekend. If you didn't know and haven't seen the weekly scopes, plan something nice for every weekend this month of January 2021, for they're all really good, and they have been since Christmas. Weekends until the last 5 days of January, where things are going to get a little testy and the energy's changed. But if you have your monthly maps, you already know this. And if you watch your weekly scopes, you already know this. So take care. Until next time, tune in to Three Keys Astrology, and for sure come to my webpage, my website. Bye for now.